Hi, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. Hey, I thought we'd talk a little bit today about form correctness and the right and wrong of correcting and understanding Tai Chi forms and form movements. You know, I think there's a way in which Tai Chi teaching and the way Tai Chi is taught and worked can get really over-obsessed with form correctness, down to little tiny minuscule adjustments in posture so that every movement has to be exactly correct. Sometimes it seems to correspond with a lot of emphasis on Chinese medicine and meridian theory and maybe even some of the woo-woo qi stuff. I mean, I call it woo-woo because no one's ever been able to show me a jar of qi or what the hell it is. I'm qi skeptical. I'm not a disbeliever completely, but I'm very skeptical about whether qi exists as a separate substance, or whether I think of it more as a way to describe combinations of physics and awareness in the body. But whether or not you agree with that, there is this emphasis on minute, tiny corrections. Now, I have got a correction or two, especially in partner work, that was really subtle and tiny, but it had a big effect. I could suddenly make a technique work that I was just stymied in before. I'm all for those kind of corrections. If a correction has to do with function and is demonstrable and obvious, like you're trying to push someone here and someone comes along and goes, no, do it here, and it suddenly works, I'm like, yeah, you're aligning yourself better. I mean, sometimes just a quarter of an inch in the wrong place, you have no leverage, and you shift it a quarter of an inch over, and all of a sudden you have leverage, and you can move in a better, more effective way. But when it comes to solo form work, obviously there are some things in the body that are very unforgiving. For instance, the knee joints. Even a little bit of rotation there, I don't forgive that. I say, keep those knees pointing down the middle of your foot so that there's no twisting and that kind of thing. That's like one of the cardinal sins for me in Tai Chi. Do not twist your knees. Or if your shoulders are high, relax them and let them drop down. Or if your butt's sticking out and you're leaning forward. Those are, forms are important, man. Forms are important. They really help you learn about alignment and posture and the proper way to move and stand and efficiency. And if you don't have a background in athletics or dancing or movement or sports like I did when I started this, I was a head case geek, man. I had no talent at this. I was not that coordinated. I really had to learn all this stuff. And having a form to show me that stuff was just invaluable. My hands are red because it's cold today, not because of my chi. So the form is really important. I would definitely agree with that. But the way that I was taught and the way that I teach is I emphasize something that I call sort of a zone of correctness rather than a meticulous absolute, this snapshot is what you need to do. So if I'm doing, like, say, brush knee and push or something like that, it's not absolutely essential that every single thing be in the perfect place. This is okay, this is okay, this is okay. There's a zone of correctness in this movement. Anywhere in there is good. Here, not so good, right? Here, not so good. Here, not so good, right? Here, but here, not so good. So there's a zone of correctness. It isn't that there's just this one perfect posture that you're going to somehow attain, and then all of a sudden this chi is going to flow, and all of a sudden you're going to be, martially even competent. Like the exact correctness in the form. Maybe it has a place when you're first learning. The teacher comes and puts you in a very good position. That's fine. But as you learn this more and more, you realize that there is a zone in there that will be effective and work, especially if your goal is to be balanced, relaxed, agile, mobile, and especially if your goal is that you want to fight. If you want to use this as a martial art, if you want to use this as a self-defense technique, you're going to get in there and spar with people, you're going to take punches, you're going to throw punches, you're going to work the martial side of this, man, you will find out really quickly that an exact position is not what you're going to do. You could be in 100 street fights and you'll never be in this exact position. You might be in that position or that one. You might do a stork pulls wings kind of movement, sure, but it's never going to look like, perfect fans in your hand and all that stuff. So I think, adhere to the form and then relax and soften it and find a zone of comfort in that. And then breathe into it. You just refer to the form, and then eventually there's no form, there's just life. It's just happening, and you're responding to what's actually going on. It really corresponds to things like music as well, you know. You have to learn the structures, and you have to learn the forms, and you have to learn the chords, and you have to learn the notes and the sequence and the timing and all that stuff. But if you get attached to that, if you get stuck in that, man, your song's not going to have the feeling. It's not going to have the spirit, and that's what matters to me. Form is important, but it's always second to the spirit. I would rather hear someone sing a little off key or not hit all the right notes, but have the spirit of that song, than have someone deliver a technically flawless performance that has no heart and has no soul in it. So what I say is learn the form, learn the notes, learn the song, adhere to that, and then relax it, and then put feeling and spirit into it, and forget what you learned in a sense. Set it aside and just play. Set it aside and just move. Set it aside and just fight, or set it aside and just be. One of my favorite teachers in the world, Dave Harris in Seattle, always used to say, a man with a plan is a man on his can. Meaning, like, you go into a fight with too rigid a game plan, like I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and it's exploitable by a free-form fighter who is more fluid and more willing to give up their ideas. I mean, you can have a basic plan, you know, like I'm going to chase him and I'm going to try to get him in the corner or something like that. But if it stops working, man, chuck that plan. Unless you really feel that you can persevere. Maybe your intuition says persevere, but my feeling is if my plan is not working, I'm gonna start to bend and start to adjust my plan. A flexible plan is really much better than a rigid one. So think about a zone of correctness the next time you do the form. Think about being in the zone of that movement, in this area, rather than a precise, perfect little statue, and see how that works for you. It might not. You might be in a lineage with a really precise, meticulous form, and a teacher who teaches that way, and hey, it might really be working for you. So again, I'm not offering these things as like the truth or the way. These are just things that really work for me, given my training goals and given what how I feel about Tai Chi and what I like to do. So I offer it in the spirit of maybe this will be helpful. And if it is, great. You can always let me know in the comments. I really appreciate that. If you like this kind of thing, subscribe, please. I do Tai Chi videos, music videos, nature videos, and all around the general theme of unforced balance and ease and freedom and life and love and peace and all that good stuff. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and you might want to visit my website, GeneBurnett.com.